everyone, my name is Denise. Welcome if you are new here and welcome back if you've already been following me. So today I'm going to be showing you how I made 3 faux ceramic vases using recycled glass bottles. So my goal today is to inspire you to use some of the techniques in my video in your own way. Maybe you like different colors or maybe you want to choose a different design. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and here are my 3 vase ideas. So to start this project, these are the materials you'll need along with some acrylic paint that you'll see me use later. So I'm using a sparkling soda glass bottle and some pearl gems that I got from the dollar store along with some E6000 glue, which is a lot stronger than hot glue. So these pearl gems came with a double stick tape on the back, and what I did is I started sticking them on the bottle and arranging them how I wanted them to look. And the good thing about these is that you can stick them and unstick them until you're happy with the design. When you're happy with the way everything looks, then you can go ahead and use some E6000 glue to glue on each gem one by one. And before doing so, I took off the double stick tape that was on the back of the gems just to make sure that there was a nice and strong bond. Once all of my gems were glued onto my bottle, I let it sit and dry for 24 hours. E6000 glue takes a long time to dry, so just leave it overnight. So the next day, once everything is nice and dry, you can go ahead and paint your bottle and make it look like a vase. I'll be using a baking soda technique with white and red acrylic paint to make a pink tone. And a little later on, you'll see that I decided to change the tone of the pink. The great thing about acrylic paint is that if you don't like it, you can always change it later. So here I'm mixing my paints, and then when I was happy with the pink color that I got, I added some baking soda, and what this is going to do is make our vase look very bumpy and organic, and it'll make it look like ceramic. And you don't need a whole lot of baking soda. I just like to make a little pile on the edge, and then I start bringing it into the paint, and then when I'm happy with the consistency, you're good to go and you can start painting your vase. Let the first layer dry for a couple of hours, and then you can go ahead and give it another coat. And as you'll see here, I actually changed the shade of pink that I used. Also make sure that you paint the rim of the bottle, and then I like to go inside as well just to make sure everything is nice and covered. Then I decided to go in with a lighter pink and paint all of the little pearls just to make them pop. So to finish this vase off, I decided to add a cute little tassel. I didn't include how I made it, but I have made one before in one of my past videos. So if you want to know how to make one of these tassels, go check out my Valentine's Day We Jar idea video. For this next vase, I thought I'd use some air dried clay to cover my glass bottle, and I started by cutting a piece of my air dried clay and then rolling it out. I'm using a wine bottle because again I don't have a rolling pin, but if you have a rolling pin that might work better. Flatten out your air dry clay so that it's wide enough to go around your entire bottle, and then also long enough so that it covers the bottle from top to bottom. Once your air dry clay is as big as you need it to be, then you're going to start making some cuts with your exacto knife to get rid of some of the extra air dry clay. Once you've removed some of the excess air dry clay, then as you see here, I started creating sort of like a silhouette shape of the bottle onto the air dry clay with the exacto knife to get rid of more of that air dry clay and to give me more of a seamless edge when I wrap it around my bottle. And once you've gotten to this point, you can pinch along the entire edge, and it's okay if it's not perfect. Everything gets smoothed out with some water a little bit later. So this doesn't have to be perfect right now. Just get your bottle completely covered with the air dry clay. Also make sure to cover the bottom of your vase. So I set my bottle down on top of some air dry clay and then I cut around it using an exacto knife. And then you can pinch all around the edge to fuse the pieces together. Once your bottle is completely covered in air dry clay, you can use some water to smooth out all of the little bumps and smooth out any cracks in your air dry clay, and then you're just going to let it sit dry for 72 hours. Once your vase is completely dry, you can pretty much do whatever you want to it. I actually went through 2 phases with this vase. I started painting it into like block colors, and then I completely decided to change it up and use a baking soda technique. So like the last vase, you do the exact same thing, mix the paint color that you want, and then you sprinkle a little bit of the baking soda on top until you get the desired texture, and then you simply paint your entire bottle with it. Make sure you give it a couple coats for good coverage. Once the paint was completely dry, I decided to make a cute botanical painting on my vase. So I started by painting a pink circle on my vase in the same tone as my last vase, just to make them kind of look like they go together. And once that pink circle was completely dry, I used a white paint marker to draw my picture. So I'm just doing sort of like a couple of branches and leaves coming off of them. And then I went ahead and used some black paint to trace over that. And this is the end result. This last vase idea is really simple and just involves some painting. So for this bottle, I decided to go with more of a sandy color, so I'm using more of this parchment color acrylic paint, and I'm mixing a little bit of the white acrylic paint into it. So here I'm mixing my paints and then giving my bottle a first coat, making sure I get my entire bottle painted. Once that first coat of paint was completely dry, I gave my bottle another coat, but with some baking soda to give it that ceramic feel. And acrylic paint dries very quickly, so you only need maybe like an hour in between coats, and then maybe another hour or two for it to completely dry. So here my vase is completely dry, and I'm going to show you the little picture that I painted on this vase. So I was going for sort of like a mountain range and sun over top. So I did it in these like pink hues to again make all three vases seem like they go together, but they're still a little bit different. So I started with a very light shade of pink and I just slapped it on the bottom, around the entire bottle. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and I wanted to make them like hilly and some low and high. So just try to think of a mountain range and you can't really go wrong with it. So once you've gone all the way around with that first shade of pink, set it aside and let it dry for maybe like 30 minutes. And then we're going to start with another shade of pink that is a little bit darker, and we're going to paint around the bottle again. So again, I'm painting around the bottom of the bottle, thinking of a mountain range, and then also making sure that some of the lighter pink still shows through on the top, making it look like there's different layers and there's dimension, and making it look like a mountain range. And once that layer is completely dry, we're going to do this one more time with an even darker shade of pink. And to finish this vase off, I painted a white circle over top of my mountain range to make it look like a sunrise. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and like always, I'd love to see what you guys are making. Tag me on my Instagram page and use my hashtag DIY with Denise. Until next Sunday, everyone. Bye.